Hey everyone, Liv Cochrane here for Youthline. Now it's been about a year since we rebooted Youthline Southland. Now the aim of the reboot was to do a few things. One was to increase our volunteer base, including the number of hours that our volunteer helpline counsellors could give back into the national Youthline grid. On top of that, increasing our funding and increasing our public awareness were also keys of the reboot. And I gotta say, I think we've nailed it. Self high five. By the time our reboot anniversary rolls around on the 18th of May, we will have increased our volunteer numbers from 4 to 25. That, if you're a percentages nerd, is an increase of 525%. Yes! We've managed to get to the end of the financial year and only worry instead of panic about where funding is going to come from. And you're seeing this video, which means the public awareness around Youthline Southland is aware. Yeah. Cameo from Nappy Bum. Now, something else has been happening around us for the past year, and for once, we're not talking COVID. We're talking about something much worse. You may or may not be aware that the statistics around mental health, especially in our young people in Southland, are not good. Over the last 12 months, we've all collectively wept as too many of our young Southlanders have passed in the most tragic and arguably preventable of ways. Now, it's not up to us to analyse each life and think of what we could have done differently. That's what we call the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff, right? It sure is up to us now, though, to do as much as we can to build some barriers and warning signs and alternative paths between our youth and the edge of the cliff. Now, we have some brilliant organisations like Adventure Development and Number 10 and the YMCA and PACT and ABLE, and some incredible guidance counsellors within our high schools who are doing all they can right now to build those barriers. And it's our turn at Youthline Southland now to roll up our sleeves and offer our own tools to help put those things in place. Youthline hubs around Aotearoa are able to do awesome things like workshops and programs inside schools and face-to-face counselling, which are all things that are specifically for youth. Some even offer workshops for parents and anyone working with youth in their daily lives. Being the experts in youth communication means that Youthline is able to coach people on how to effectively support and communicate with youth no matter what they're going through, the good, the bad, the otherwise. And those are the kinds of things that Youthline Southland is able to deliver. We just need the resources to do it. Quiz time! Who has 2 thumbs and is the only thing standing between us doing all of the things I just talked about and not doing them? This guy. Hard to admit, but it's true. But it's also about you, which makes it worse. Way to go with a fundraising campaign by blaming everybody else for not fundraising. But it's because this guy with the thumbs hasn't given you the opportunity to be a part of all of this. Until now. Over the next however long it takes, I'm asking not the team of 5 million, that's been done, but the team of 102,600 to think big and dig deep for Youthline Southland. With a fairly lofty goal of $1 million, which is really hard to say without doing that, our next aim is to employ me some friends. Kinda. Now, disclaimer, I have an incredibly supportive board, and also we have an MOU with Youthline Otago that has really kept us afloat. But it's time now to go from just floating to cruising along with more bodies inside the Youthline Southland hub to establish those face-to-face counselling and programs and workshops that we were talking about earlier. So, fundraising time. I've come up with a really catchy name for the campaign. You ready for it? Hashtag 975 for life. So what does hashtag 975 for life mean? Well, I've crunched the numbers, and if every single person in Southland contributed an equal share of $1 million, this sounds like one of those things in the maths exams, you know, what time will the train arrive, but it's not. If every single Southlander contributed their share of $1 million, it would look like $9.75 each. Hashtag 975 for life. I then reverse mathsed that, and if you times 102,600 by 9.75, you end up with $1,350,000, which means we've got $350 left that we could then gift on to the next organisation that needs it. Bonus support. Now, there's a few ways we can all get on board for hashtag 975 for life. The obvious, you can donate $9.75 or whatever you can give to our Give a Little campaign. You can make your $9.75 grow by holding a fundraiser. Anything from a sausage sizzle, mufti day, casual Friday, way too fancy Tuesday, jingo, bingo, CrossFit, like Fitbit. I sound like Dr. Seuss. Bake something, make something, However big or small your donation or fundraised amount, it's all going to add up to something huge. Well, yes, it will obviously add up to a huge total of $1 million, but it will also add up to better mental health within our community. Over the coming weeks and months, I'm going to be hanging out and Zooming with some truly amazing people who will explain why campaigns like #975forlife are so important. But for now, the link to start donating is in the description of this video, and there is no better time than right now to start thinking about how you can make a difference for Southland youth. Please share the campaign within your community, and if you're not in a position to give, your encouragement and support through commenting and sharing and liking and talking about it at the supermarket with whoever you see is actually worth more than you could ever imagine. And finally, if you do decide to do a fundraising campaign for #975forlife, then let me know. On social media, use the cool hashtag 975forlife and send me links and photos and your ideas so that we can celebrate together what our many hearts and minds can do when we come together for each other. I declare this fundraising campaign open. #975forlife. It'll catch on. It'll catch on. It's really cool. I'm going to do that thing that TikTokers do, where they put their hand on the screen and then other stuff pops up. Let's go!